Sup gamers, Rainy Potato here with a new profile educational run where I basically explain my thought process as we go through a new profile for all you noobs out there. We will probably do this every Sunday, a different act all the way through this new profile until we finally get a new update, which is coming late summer. Or late July, early August, mid-August, I don't know. Sometime in summer, they said. So obviously, I just went through the prologue. No need to show that, obviously. Now, when you first get to the working fields the first time, you want to invest everything in items. The reason is two of the biggest hurdles to overcome as a new player are relationships, which are almost impossible to form without affinity items. And you start off with very few affinity items. And also, HP is a massive problem in survivability. And this is where you unlock actual usable food and not slime mold. So we'll spend all our points on items. Combat items are pretty good because you can unlock the healing salves early, but I prefer the in items. Get stale bread right off the bat. That's absolutely insane. Speed bag is kind of meh. Mop and bucket is near unusable. It's slightly better now that they buffed it. Whittling tools
is another implement at our disposal.
And poultice, so no affinity items. At base, you have playing cards and pipeweed. Or no, it's playing cards. Do you have pipeweed as well? I know you have whiskey flasks, right? Those are like universal now. But we have food that's really big. Obviously, we're starting with denial.
Or be consumed by them.
Yeah, I would say the three biggest hurdles for new players: relationships, managing HP, and managing the wagon, which you can't really do until the second time you go to the Altar of Hope.
Your insightful questions during my lectures gave me pause.
So, yeah.
And I recognized in you something of a kindred.
So we will struggle with relationships this run, most likely.
Despite our differences in age and position,
Our goal will be mostly to avoid dropping in the negative zone.
For archaeology, folklore, and of course, occultism.
And of course, we have to watch this whole thing because it's a new profile.
The crossroads, a beacon for the broken and the battered.
And we obviously only have the starting team available. This is not the setup we want. There are a couple different ways you can do this. The thing is, both Plague Doctor and Grave Robber, and basically every hero, prefers to be in rank 3 over 4. With the Grave Robber, she has Pick to the Face, which is a pretty strong melee attack. Does better with crit because it has a high end. And you have Paracelsus, the Plague Doctor, who has Incision from rank 3, which is also a bleed. They're pretty close. I usually put the Grave Robber there, and I actually start here so we can use our Duelist Advance on turn 1. So I usually start out in the shuffle. We always look at quirks before taking off, very important, just to know what's going on. Spotter, so we will scout all hazardous roads. Klepto mostly interacts with like locations. Shadowborn is pretty cool. Stiff Knees is very bad. Speed is very important, and that absolutely crushes us. We have Field Surgeon. Blundering is pretty bad. That means we take damage when we move. I still like Duelist Advance. We also lose speed, so this is a very slow team. Field Surgeon is pretty good. And we have Steady. Move Resist is pretty good for Plague Doctor. Hemophiliac. Bleed is the most important dot. It's the most common dot, so having that is really bad. So very bad quirks, but that's fine. We will make this work. So, I guess I should look at hero goals too, if I'm going to be a, you know, new profile.
Onward. And let us hope
Now, I will
that
say,
the remains of the world.
you always want to prioritize surviving. Surviving will always give you more candles than taking a super risky route to get a hero goal. But obviously you also want to pay attention to hero goals to try and get your rewards. And these are all very, very simple to get rewards. This is a guaranteed reward, assuming we survive. That one should be fairly easy. Hospital should be somewhat easy. And then Watchtower is a maybe. Yeah, survivability is everything for getting candles. And for everything in this game, honestly.
The point of no return welcomes you with open.
So this run we will almost assuredly not tackle a boss. We don't really have the back range damage to tackle any of the bosses currently. Alright, this is not a very good lineup for us because we lack back row. We lack rank 4 and rank 3 reach. At least here. So we're going to start out. I don't really care about blinding. Blinding is okay. But they don't really do that much in the back. It's kind of a slow move. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. Just unloading damage up front. And then we'll try and clear this rank. And they're going to move up. They only have 2 attacks. Filthy Morsel from the back row and Chomp from the front row. Chomp gives stress and diseases. Then we Duelist Advance. And they're now dead on their turn, taking 2 damage. They have 2 HP. We do not want to knock back because then the Lost Soul can Chomp, which will give us stress. So we just crush. Lucky target there. And thankfully he used his guard move, which is not a very smart idea. We're going to Wicked Slice here for the most possible damage and also the highest crit chance. And we do want to kill before they get an action. We don't know when she is going to go. We cannot see the turn order up top. We could push back. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter what happens there. And now they are both dead, and we can focus everything we have on the remaining woodsman. And doing decent. Not much stress accumulated, not much damage accumulated. And we will heal 1 stress total. Alright, so we have a dot already. I think we want to go with direct damage. We want to get to Death's Door as quickly as possible because the woodsman, of course, has Death's Door.
Take a closer look at the thing.
This is the alt view, of course.
Repulsive as it is.
You click alt. You can see their moves. You can get a closer look.
Excellent work.
And 2 back-to-back crits. Pretty easy.
All problems have their
You can honestly get beat up in this fight. There's some fights that I've been beaten up pretty badly here. So you're always happy to get out of here as safe as possible. And we got this trinket, which is, in my opinion, one of the better early game trinkets. Extra DBR.
Are you shaken?
Extra stress resist.
There is so much worse in store.
I'll just put that on my front row tank. You have pretty limited trinket inventory early on. Trinket pool early on. Yep, we understand. Now we are faced with our first inn.
There are at places such as this,
Now at
a
N1,
little light still gathers.
you have a reduced chance to form a relationship. So you will not, as long as you stay in neutral, you will not form a negative relationship. And of course, you won't form a positive relationship either. So you do not want to use N items at N1. But you do want to purchase them if they are available. Now, the first thing I do at an inn is check out the rewards. We have visit a creature den and avoid a hoarder. Creature dens are pretty difficult. They can be pretty rewarding though. But this, I think, is overall better for candles. All we have to do is avoid the hoarder to get 3 candles. And we also get extra candles at locations. So we'll go ahead and go to this ball first. This will also complete a hero goal for Barristan.
Another inferno of mutilation and madness.
Alright, so we have
And what you can,
just the basic
for
trinkets.
wealth no longer has meaning,
Not going to spend anything here.
if indeed it ever did.
Kleptomaniac does block playing cards, which is unfortunate. And obviously you can grab the Radiant Flame. I actually suggest this for newer players. I'm not going to do it because I don't play Radiant Flame. That's just not what I do. It also does reduce candles a bit, but if you're a new player, you probably gain more candles overall using this and just getting through the run. So first things first, I generally like having max bread, max food. You need 1 food for each hero. So I'm going to buy 2 food. Now we want to work on affinity. So we're going to grab the playing cards, both of them. It is unfortunate we have Kleptomaniac. I usually buy Glimmer of Hope just in case. And this also fulfills a hero goal. And then we have a choice to make. I think we buy 1 whiskey flask and then a couple laudanum. Don't be afraid to spend all your money here. You want to do whatever you can to survive. Now we will not be using any of these items except for the food here.
Learn what can be taught.
Now you get 5 mastery in Act
Just a
1.
little taller at the end.
I think you should always upgrade Bolster. Bolster will be... It's the best stress heal in the game. It'll help you a lot to keep stress at bay. Very hard for new players to manage. And of course, stress snowballs into bad relationships, which leads to failed runs. I like Poison Dart upgrade. That doubles the blight damage. Also doubles the crit rate. One of the best value upgrades in the game. I like Noxus Blast. And I like Duelist Advance because this gives you an extra dodge token. It also doubles your crit again, more damage, an extra riposte. You really want damage on everyone. Take aim is also a consideration. I think I'm going to go with Crush here. It can also be Rampart because that interacts with the combo generated from Riposte. But I think I'll go with Crush. You'll notice we have I like doing attacks on all your heroes. You want to... Now when you're restricted to 2 mastery, you just want to get attacks on your 2 best heroes upgraded and or your stress heal. But with your 5 mastery at the start, you want to get it. Each hero wants to have an upgraded attack. And you have the hero goal that is using Glimmer of Hope. So we put that on you. Oh, you actually have to be at this screen to double click. And then it doesn't matter who has this. And then we want to eat all of our food. This leaves us with quite good HP. And now we embark on our first battle. Now for new profile priority, Obviously, hero shrines are the #1 priority. Always, forever and always. After that, especially in Region 1, you need to be doing fights. You can't be playing scared. You can't be, you know,
Behold,
trying to do fancy stuff. You want to just go to as many fights as possible.
ruined and aflame.
And now, remember, we only have, to start out with, we only have 2 wheels and 2 armor. We scout all of the wheels because of our hero quirk. That is the hoarder. We have to avoid the hoarder. So it's very interesting. The lair is not that great of a reward, although we do get the candle there. Just because you don't... I guess you get 8 relics, 8 baubles, but that's it. But we do get the 2 candles here. And of course, if we go this path, we will lose 2 armor, but then be safe the rest of the region. There's also an assistant encounter there, which is nice. Nice little safety valve into the rampart. So I think we will take this right-hand path just for these 2 candles. We're also going to be doing a lot of fights. Very useful. Because remember, we still need to buy a lot more affinity items to be safe. Assistant encounter isn't that great. Ideally, we obtain some food here. Thankfully, we have full light at this assistant encounter.
Let us hope their desperation.
So we have a
can
lot
be
more.
eased.
See, we can do this. This does give affinity. So we can do this, get double food, or we can do this and increase affinity by 1. I believe this is a better choice. I also think the bread is probably a better choice than in items. There are only a couple in items we actually want. This also tops up our light, which isn't a big factor, but it's a minor factor. I do not personally use slime mold. 10% max HP is just a lot less than 20, and you have these negatives attached to it. So that's basically worth 8 relics and 1 affinity point. Not a great... You don't really want to go to that many assistant encounters. You want to go to a few strategically if you need to manage your light. Otherwise, they are not a high value location. They can be sometimes, but they are not generally high value. Alright, this is the most dangerous enemy here. Although, quite frankly, none of them are dangerous. They're more dangerous in pairs. So we're going to hard focus. They also are not coming up soon, so I don't need to daze. Of course, that's 1 HP and 1 HP left.
Avoidable end.
We do want to secure the kill, so we'll just go here. It's a bit of overkill, but it's fine.
Thing development.
And then obviously we just attack what we can attack. These enemies are very dangerous in rank 4, but outside of rank 4, they are no danger.
Variable can make all the difference.
They do have a decently high crit rate, I suppose. And we just blinding gas here because there's nothing else we can do. That's the goal. You kill, you gain an action economy advantage, then you just rush them down. Of course, this is a very simple fight with only 3 enemies. Basically no synergies among your enemies. Get a very lucky mastery point. Road fights, I tend to avoid if I can. Basically, the only normal benefit of road fights is to avoid getting either loathing, hazardous road, or rough patch. But if you get a mastery, it's all worth it. Especially early on, road fights are pretty easy, but late game road fights can often be a challenge. One that you don't particularly want to tackle. But especially early on, you're happy taking road fights just because you do not have the stagecoach to spend. All right, unfortunately, they disagree. Everyone's at the same amount of affinities, so we just choose one. And this is why it's hard to impossible to get to max affinity without your without affinity items, because you just can't gain affinity at that rate. All right, now this is the most challenging resist encounter possible for us. Although maybe Pit Fighter is a little more challenging for our current team. We have the Immolatus, who, as you saw, will ignite these enemies. Ignition is the key mechanic of the Sprawl. They gain extra different attacks that are much stronger. The Ignite also heals. And of course we have this Sacrificial back here, who will blow up if they get in the front row. So my goal is to, especially with this dodge token here, we would like to kill this enemy, but we want to kill here first to avoid having her ignite anyone else. It's also the easiest kill at the moment. Now, of course, Paracelsus cannot do direct damage to the back, so I'm just going to go ahead and strip this dodge token away with an attack. And there we have a combo token. So that leads a very interesting question. The combo token enables combos with certain skills. The Grave Robber specifically gains crit on a comboed foe. So this is actually a decent consideration. We were going to choose to target the Immolatus, but we could choose to target here, and we have a pretty high chance of killing this turn specific, or have them at least be able to be killed next turn. It does kind of suck to leave her alive, but we don't have any chance of killing her this round anyways, because she is now in the back. So we're going to actually change our target priority to here. And then a crush will finish that off. They will die on their next turn. And now we will start again. We can only target this one. This does 3 to 6 with a 3-point bleed. This does 3 to 4 with a 6-point dot. I think the 6-point dot is superior. On average, we're doing 3.5. On average, we're doing 4.5 with an extra 3-point dot.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
And this also generates a kill here. Then we have a chance of killing this backline. A pretty low chance. Combined with the Grave Robber, however. We did get a very lucky kill. And now we're left to deal with this one alone, which is not a challenge with four heroes. So yeah, my target priority, I generally go for like easiest to kill in most situations. Who's most convenient to kill. Sometimes you do go for the most challenging opponents. It just depends. Action economy advantage generally outweighs, you know, something like getting more action economy outweighs, killing this slightly more powerful foe earlier. Alright, so we have healing received at the cost of movement resist. Your movement resist is already low, and we don't really care where you are. So that's an okay equip for you. You also have a self-heal that procs this trinket, so that's a pretty good option for you. Now we're headed into a lair, which is a mandatory fight. Probably only doing one fight. Each fight you get 8 relics and 8 baubles. And then you're set, obviously, and then There are 2 early stage fights, and there's the boss fight. We're not doing the boss fight. Theoretically, with upgraded poison dart, we could do the boss fight,
Waits you inside.
but it's too much of a risk for me. You really just want to get those candles going. You don't need to do the lairs. You don't need a lair for Act 1.
Library burns,
Just don't bother with it.
and with it, the remains of philosophy.
Alright, so here's interesting choices. This is a top priority because they are a healer. But of course, since we cannot reach that with our Plague Doctor who went first, we're going to target another foe. With the lowered blight resist here, this is actually a slightly easier target. But this target does stress damage and disease, so I think we will target them first. The blight resist is unfortunate. So I'm going to use Pick to the Face because of that blight resist. It is unfortunate to take 3 swings to take them down, but I think it's worth it. That's very unfortunate because they're going to be very annoying to deal with. And then we go here. Now, these enemies cannot ignite on round 1. They do self-ignite, but they cannot do so on round 1. They can be ignited by an Immolatus on round 1. And starting on round 2, they can ignite. That's a very unfortunate ignite because now they're going to protect here. So we're going to go ahead, target them. This is going to be a very difficult fight with all these dodge tokens. We're just going to go after them. We don't really want to go into this riposte right now. Although, they also might ignite, but they might ignite anyways. We do have a dodge token, but we also have a Vuln token. So I think we just go here. Got a lucky hit. We go ahead and poison darts. Now we're targeting here because this will get rid of the guard tokens. Alright, and we delivered the kill. We can deliver this blight here, although we are blind. And they are highly likely to ignite, self-ignite. But they didn't. Now they only have 1 speed. We have 2 speed, 3 speed, and 2 speed. So it's between Crush. We can daze here. Rampart does daze, which will delay the opponent to the next round. The problem with dazing in this situation is our Plague Doctor cannot hit rank 3. So I think we'll just pray for speed rolls to finish that off. Now we were very concerned about here because they are likely to ignite soon. They did not, thankfully. I'm going to go ahead and try and finish this off. They are now dead on their turn. So now we will go into this riposte, unfortunately. And now this is a decent opportunity to daze here. Although Crush, if we can actually connect with it, guarantees a kill. So it's actually not a good opportunity to daze. Now, of course, we just missed, so that's whatever. If this was upgraded, this would be a great move. We're just hoping for a speed roll at this point, because they are very, very likely to ignite, which will heal themselves. All right, we got the good speed roll. Take the guaranteed kill. That actually ended up a pretty good fight. I'm not that interested in pushing my luck. There's no chance of mastery points. It's just 8 relics, 8 baubles. Doesn't seem worth it for a slightly harder pool.
Cowardice, a crude term for the science of self-preservation.
And of course, we have this 1 mastery, which will go away as soon as we fight these fights. So the argument for going this path would be hero shrines, right? But our main... It's a hard choice, but I really want to win this first run. And frankly, we have skills we need. I think people get too caught up in all the fancy builds they see and say, oh, we need that build. You obviously want things like Plague Grenade and Retribution, but this base team is really all you need. Alright, Highwaymen and Paracelsus already have some affinity, so I'm okay with breaking up their relationship a bit. Just trying to keep everyone balanced around neutral. That's our goal. Another quite challenging fight. Now we want to kill you before you get an opportunity to move. And we will absolutely do so with 4 moves in a row. We're going to put these dot points. It's either here or here. You're easier to kill because you have 12 HP, I think. Although you do have the dodge, of course. But you're also in the front row, which means the Plague Doctor can reach you. So we will attempt, and of course you're going to use Duelist Advance to kill here. And we get lucky and you target me. That's very, very lucky. Now, of course, you could just straight up ignite this turn. Thankfully, they only did this turn. Alright, they're dead now. Which means we can now target the Immolotist. We do have to be careful here because of this dodge token. But for now, we're going to focus down. Unfortunately, left with 1 HP. Then we go here to strip that token. This could be very concerning with Funeral Pyre. She could have removed this corpse. Thankfully, she didn't. Now she is dead on her turn with no death door. So we just laser target this enemy. And another quite simple battle. Won by making correct choices. We also stay completely clean as far as HP goes, which is very important, very underrated. Now, we do not need to use any glimmers of hope in this region because of how it's set up with an assisted encounter at the end. Assisted encounters, if you are low light, will always offer you a 45 light choice. So that's very important to know for assisted encounters. Assisted encounters will always offer you 45 light if you're at low light and you come across one.
Our protection has been stripped to its last.
And we know we're going to be fine on armor because we have 100% scouting. Again, we're just doing maximum fights for maximum loot. Now he has 11, or he has 10 with Dismas. They both have 10. None of these ones do anything. See how I said it's so hard to keep... It's so hard to actually make advancements with affinity. You're just trying to break even. Alright, here's our first battle advantage. Thankfully, this is a somewhat simple comp with only 3 enemies. Now, battle advantages can happen if you're either at low light, if you have loathing, which we have. I guess I should explain loathing real quick once we're out of this fight. And they can happen on Stygian or other Infernal. Elite's one of the hardest. More HP, more damage, more speed. Now, with this specific lineup, we will have 3 attacks on the Immolotist. So actually, I like triple targeting with Highwayman, Man-at-Arms Crush, which reaches rank 3, and Poison Darts. We're going to try and kill the Immolotist first. That's going to make it basically impossible, at least this round. Unless we crit, of course. And then we're just going to go here because you don't have the dodge token. Makes it much easier. That resist is very unfortunate. %, resist, 20% resist. All right, now here we have 4 stress. And you'll notice the stress 4 stress is the start of negative bark thresholds. So you don't want to be at 4 stress. It's a good time to use the laudanum. Keep us at 3 stress. Make relationships easier. We are going to target here. Unfortunately, she is likely to ignite someone. That's just how it is. We can't really do much. So we're going to kill here. And then we're going to attempt to kill here before you ignite. Although you're going next. Either way, getting this dot up is clutch. No ignite, so you are now dead on your turn. We're just going to go ahead and normal attack into this. Try and do as much damage as possible. We don't have any way to deal with riposte currently. So we just brute force everything. In this fight, like I said, with only 2 enemies, it's not too challenging. We did take more stress and damage than we want. And the fight's over, so it doesn't actually matter what we do.
One less obstacle in our path.
Again, good targeting gets us through that fight pretty easy. This is the starting team is very well balanced if you know how to use it. Without any unlocks, without any paths, no fancy nonsense. Just play a simple, solid, straightforward game. And at least Act 1, as long as you don't do anything crazy like attempt a lair boss, you should get through it unscathed, relatively. Although RNG can always take you out, of course. I forgot to look at loathing. Alright, now this, with them together, they're slightly more challenging. The front 2 can use finishing blow on a comboed enemy. Alright, can we kill? We cannot kill with 18 HP. At least this one. So our goal is to kill the other front row one. So they can't do the low blow combo, finishing blow combo. And the back row one cannot use finishing blow, so they are less a priority. So again, since they are guaranteed to go, we can't really kill without double crits. We're going to focus target this one. Take this one out first.
A slow dissection.
We just have to do 4 damage.
An unavoidable end.
So it's safer to just do this. This is guaranteed 4 damage. Again, these enemies don't have Death's Door, so it's fine. Now we are comboed. The problem with dazing here is we knock back, so then this one would get to go anyways. So we just take a normal crush, and we hope one of these heroes speed rolls faster than this one, so we can get the kill. There's Field Surgeon, which we cannot use on ourselves. All right, I'm actually going to target this back row. Since we have Paracelsus to handle the front row. This is a little risky because there's a 10% chance we do not connect with the Blight. But that's a chance I'm willing to take in order to kill both opponents on this round. Calculated risks. So 90% chance that we get the Blight and we kill.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
And then, of course, we have to hit the blight to kill here. 90% chance. And we get a double kill on round 2. That saves us a bit of damage. Just small optimizations add up. Now, these sorts of fights especially become more prominent once you start playing Stygian and you lose some of your road healing. Very important to master these easy fights. All right, like I said, this is loathing. The enemies get stronger the more loathing you have, and you also have more flame drain. If you max loathing, the final boss gets a boost in HP, and you get an act-based negative. And you gain loathing by going through these loathing locations, and you remove loathing by going to location fights, resistance encounters, creature dens, occultist fights, and lairs reduce it by 2. It's a simple loathing explanation. Now we get an assistance encounter. We're definitely looking for light here. Also looking for food, ideally. Saves us a few relics. Alright. You want to get used to opening your relationship screen. You just have to press R at any assistance encounter to find out where you need affinity. Since we're in the unfriendly zone, it either needs to be Dismas or Barristan that gets the affinity proc. Dismas is slightly better to improve here, but here we get food. Here we get a wheel, which does nothing. So I think I'll actually choose this food option. This also almost gives them a positive relationship. That's 2 food. We have 3 total food now, which is almost enough to full eat for the next region, which is great, which means we can spend all our relics on affinity items. And there's another road fight. Very, very important we handle this one correctly, seeing as we're about to face our first cultist battle here at this Oblivion's Rampart.
Opportunists.
Another pretty easy pool fight. As I said, the crack shots are not really dangerous. Outside of rank 4. That's decent damage, but it's just damage. 3 attacks should be sufficient to kill here, so we don't need to do any dazing. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Now we have to roll a 4 and get a dot to kill here. That resist is very, very odd. I believe they're 10%, right? Sometimes you just get unlucky. But thankfully, it does not matter. And again, we just normal crush. Do as much damage as possible. Now you are going to target the back because Paracelsus has the front covered. Actually, she is about to go. So we actually want to guarantee the kill here. It's pretty close, but...
A petty hindrance.
So then we just blind here, I suppose. Could get rid of this dot. I think I will get rid of the dot. We aren't going to heal any HP, but that prevents future HP loss.
At least has been tended to.
We have Field Surgeon, which patches you up to full. And then we just focus you down. And we're basically guaranteed to kill this round. Region 1 is fairly simple to clear. You just need to learn enemy prioritization.
This work is no
10 damage is just not enough
necessary.
to want to ever lose speed. I never run that trinket. The 15% I can sometimes use in certain scenarios. Alright, we check our inventory to make sure we don't have any combat items that can be of use in this fight. And we don't. And again, you see we got positive road banter for being at low stress. That got us out of the negative zone. So, like I said, very important to keep your stress down. Alright, cultists. Cultists are fun. These are the most challenging fights outside of lair bosses you will face. At least in this early game. These guys are very difficult to challenge because of their HP. They also do a lot of bleed damage. And this is the buffer. This is who we primarily target. Now, they are very susceptible to positioning. So we're actually going to move you, especially since we're weak. We move you back, you are much less effective. And then we're going to try and do damage here, just because they're so low HP. The altar will provide a buff each turn. Not each turn. They'll do an altar buff for the full battle, which changes based on the act. And then they will also either give block tokens or they can also give HP. Alright, we're going to start focusing here with Blight. We eventually want to kill you. Very unfortunate roll there. And then we're going to start focusing. No, I think we just keep the focus here. We really need to kill. Now, unfortunately, they moved back, so they're moved back into position. But at least they didn't do anything damaging. Double resist is very unfortunate. But sometimes you just get bad RNG. You have to learn to deal with it. Again, we want to move you back to avoid having you use your good attack. We want to keep going back here. The altar should be dead already, but you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the bad RNG. That's Darkest Dungeon. You're dead in 2 turns. See, there is its powerful bleed attack. And here it is in rank 3, doing the much less powerful Rush Judgment. And now you are dead, so that's good. You are stealthed as per the thing there. So we get started here on this enemy. This is a double bleed, double blind chance. Very challenging move to tackle. I'm going to go ahead and get my duelist advance up, and we'll try. I guess you're blind too. We should have double targeted here. We're still going to move, especially with your crit. We're going to try and move you back. We got lucky there, hitting the blind. And now we just have to deal with the 2 evangelists. You cannot yet be healed for HP, so we're going to leave you alone. We're going to get a blind in here. We can also do ounce of prevention. It's just too small, I think, to waste a turn. This actually gives us a heal with the combo. So that's very fortunate for us, although it takes us out of healing range, which is a bit awkward. You're close to healing range too, although now that you are in the back, you cannot be damaged anymore by these opponents. These opponents only hit the front.
Malaise. Measured
We just full target you.
steady.
Full send, and now you're dead.
A steady subtraction.
And now we have an action economy advantage. Daze doesn't really matter. Daze does matter a little bit. We can get one extra dart in. We're not going to do direct damage because of the block anyways. See, we'll get one extra dart in. And here we can take a heal. We don't full heal it in, so it's pretty decent to take heals when you can. And here we just want to force Death's Door. You will not be dead because you have Death's Door, as stated before, but you're weakened, and it gets us the kill there.
Cleared with impunity.
So pretty decent cultist fight, I would say. There's a plus 15. I still don't think it's worth it here. And there's a Dark Impulse. No cultist trinket. There are 2 available to get, but we didn't get one. And now we are ready for our second in and our final region before the mountain. Very, very successful. 5 mastery, which is very, very lucky. That's a very lucky mastery. We did take maximum fights, which is what you want to do. That also gives us very good money. But also, of course, very lucky to get that mastery. We got some road mastery, which helped. That's basically all the skills we use will be upgraded now.
There are yet places.
Nomad's Wagon is interesting, although we don't really have trinkets.
Still gathers.
There should probably be some usable ones, though, for sale. Neat Freak, that mostly affects locations. Pathfinder is pretty cool. Chatterbox is very bad. This gives you negative affinity barks on the road. Hemophiliac, again, very bad, because bleed is very common. Free candles. So we still have to visit a hospital and a watchtower, ideally, and use our Glimmer of Hope, which we will do. First we look. We obviously, being Act 1, we only have one option. Treacherous is very rough. Exterminate, we may or may not do.
Each improvement.
Now we definitely want to fully repair our armor. It's very important. Then I'm going to take a look here.
Conventional fare, but fairly
We have extra healing. We have extra penetration. And we have stress resist. These are all very strong trinkets, very strong. Along with some very strong items. We're not likely to get a better supply of trinkets here. So I definitely take this, I think. Definitely take that. And we definitely take this. And we take both playing cards. Well, I guess we can't right now. And we want to take one more bread.
A bit of comfort on the road to damnation.
So first we're going to eat our food. Now, unfortunately, our Klepto cannot play. Our Klepto is... Yeah, Man-at-Arms can't play. But we can force that relationship. No matter what, so that's fine. So these are slightly less effective, of course, with 1 total less. And then we got 1 relationship there. We're going to force a relationship here. We're at 13. You need to be at 14 to get to the next stage. If you'll notice, there is no chance to get a negative relationship once you're in positive affinity zone. And we're just looking to avoid negatives. That's the priority. So they're at 15. Let's go ahead and look at who else we have. They're at 9. We aren't going to get there on 9. They're at 10. So Audrey and Dismas are the closest. So they need 3 affinity. So let's look at what's available. We have 2 whiskey flasks.
Something to ease the
Oh, I didn't realize we had another one of these. I don't know if I want to risk that. We could lose this relationship, but we could also improve another relationship. We could also lose one. Well, no, you're at 10. You're at 11. Maybe it's worth the risk to do one more. We could theoretically save it and try to remove a quirk, but I'm doubtful we have money, and that's not a good use of money anyways. Alright, so that changes priorities a bit. It's now Paracelsus and Audrey. Now we just need to use 1 pipeweed, which unfortunately will lower our speed. So now we have Barristan with 2 negatives. And you with that. So we have 3 we have 3 5% rolls basically. I can't decide who I want. I think I want you to have this. I think I'll give you more stress relief. This probably we don't use. I guess since we don't have retribution, we actually take one of these off you. Normally I stack stress resist on my tank, but we don't have any actual tanking skills. Alright, now the consideration. I don't think I buy any of these combat items. I think we buy the poultice. So the Act 1 boss stuns you. That's what it does. So we're going to buy that. And nothing else is really sticking out to me. Let's go ahead and use that. Just to use it.
Experience.
Now we'll be able to upgrade basically all our skills that we're using. Rampart gives us a stun on combo. Pick to the face gives us a very good high-end roll attack. We take heal. This gives us his double dot removal. I think we take aim. And probably pistol shot for back row damage. Take aim is very good in certain scenarios. It's very overpowered, but I generally don't like using a turn to buff. I like just moving faster. And we save these in items for the mountain. It is a bit presumptuous to like say, oh, I'm going to get to the mountain guaranteed. But I generally don't use in items before that. It just doesn't make sense. We did get 1 positive relationship, no negatives.
A bond to be counted on.
That's very good. Noxious Blast giving dodge plus. The strength obviously doesn't matter on Paracelsus for the most part. Although it's an argument for a rank 3 Paracelsus. Now the Tangle is actually quite difficult as far as... Especially that they put it in the beginner zone. They heavily buffed it.
Only resignation.
Alright, so Creature Den does give us 3 candles. But Hero Shrine gives us a skill. So we take Hero Shrine. That also gives us a hospital for affinity. And then we probably hit double question marks to try and get another Hero Shrine. We do miss out on some candles, but doesn't really matter. And another region where we are not going to get urgent repaired through armor, although we might because of the 100% rough patches. And they're evidently not scouted. So we're just going this left side path. There's a fight. There's an academic study. I'll show you that guys can actually tell what you're going to get there. Alright, I don't think we can kill with two hits here. So we're just going to let him go. We actually did this fight before. And we're going to focus down this one. And we just take the kill. Pretty easy. And there we got comboed. So now we have to kill this enemy before our next turn, or risk taking 1 stress damage and a slightly higher damaging attack. We just have to do one more attack here to guarantee the kill. And we got it, thankfully.
A steady subtraction, an invariable result.
And like I said, they cannot finishing blow, so we are not worried at all about them. They are now dead on their turn. We just remove one of your dots. You have the bigger dot. Just so it doesn't proc if we get a speed roll.
Has been tended to.
See, we just saved 6 damage there. Very, very good. Very good play.
Scavenge what you can and be off.
All right, we'll take a look at this academic study. Academic studies are like the curios from Darkest Dungeon 1. They will give you certain items. The sealed doorway can give you a lot of different stuff. They changed it for 1.0, so it can give like a bunch of different trinkets, all sorts of rewards. These locations can also give quirks. You'll just have to learn which ones are good and which ones are kind of mediocre. This one I wouldn't go out of my way for. So we can get a buff. I don't actually know what the buff is, but I would rather get food and a trinket. And this I believe is the very good food that gives 30% max HP. This is the only place you can get it.
Abandoned or forgotten.
Oh, and you can also get cultist trinkets here. I believe you can get other trinkets too. But that's a very, very good reward. And 30% max HP food. Also stun resist. So this is one of 2 cultist trinkets available at base before getting unlocks. It gives plus 75% max HP in exchange for damage. This is perfect for Paracelsus because we don't really care about her damage at all. She only does 3 to 4 with her attack. It does mean that this was pointless, although we can equip it on someone else. But we definitely take this HP. This makes her almost unkillable, which is very good. I guess we'll give it to you. I think that means your crush will heal slightly more. It is kind of sad we spent that, but I'm happy.
Brace up. There's danger on this path.
This is very scary. This means we're almost guaranteed an urgent repair fight at some point. But that's very common when you don't have wheels upgraded, when you don't have your stagecoach upgraded. Your first run, you should expect an urgent repair fight.
By confronting the past, we learn to face
Now,
the
Man-at-Arms
future.
is the best choice for your first shrine because point-blank shot is a very powerful attack.
Highwayman. Chapter
Just
1.
raw damage.
Freedom.
You have to do the little mini game, which takes forever.
A prison riot. A fleeting chance to escape incarceration.
So we punch. I don't actually mind if you inhale. I want to get the kill this round. We might just get lucky if we both get knocked back. Very, very lucky. So basically the fight is this guy will inhale. That does stress damage. Otherwise, these guys just do regular damage. And you can use stone missile to stop him from sounding the alarm. I believe it's 3 stress. So I'm going to go ahead and go back forward, try and kill. I don't really care if they inhale. Not worried at all. Oh, they're going to give me a free stone missile. That's very lucky. This is about as well as this fight can go. Knee strike only hits the front too, so a little unfortunate, but oh yeah, you're gonna do that stuff. I might as well move then, and so we can't knee strike back there. We're not going to kill there. Well, we could kill here. Next turn, at least. Let's go ahead and take the kill. And we don't care. We're just going to lunge. It's about as well as that fight can go. Now we get our... Now we change our lineup completely.
He would be a fugitive.
To
a hunted man. But a free
utilize our point blank shot. We'll take off tracking shot, which we're not using at all. We completely switch around positioning. Now we have a cultist fight along with a safe road. The other cultist trinket we can get is 50% damage in exchange for 33% health, which is quite terrifying. We're probably okay with that on Dismas. Cultist fights, you basically always have to fight. I think it's always a fight unless you have a certain quirk. Which means they're actually good for farming affinity. Because of course you'll get 3 options, all positive affinity. So it needs to be Dismas or Paracelsus. Or Dismas or Audrey. Looks like it doesn't matter. These fights also give you light and a higher chance of affinity. Alright, enemy ambush is pretty unfortunate. Although our team is fairly mobile. This is our first look at the Evangelists. As well as our first look at ordained enemies. Ordained enemies can start appearing in your second region. And they're more common in later acts. And in later regions. And they get slightly different benefits depending on which act you're in. In Act 1, they get 20% max HP, speed, 20% damage, and they also get a chance of resists. In this case, they got movement resist. All right, we want to move forward, obviously, because she is not good in position 1, which means we're going to focus on the Herald. We're going to try and kill the Herald. As you saw, the Herald does AoE. So we're going to focus all our attacks here. Except for you. I guess you'll get started here. The Herald also does stress damage. Alright, so we have to take the kill here. And now we can get started here.
Results are encouraging.
I guess we just daze. No, daze doesn't really do anything. Yeah, daze does nothing because you're acting last anyways. We're gonna get hit a couple times. We're just gonna have to accept that. We keep melting you. But we also start on the altar. Because we need the altar dead. Could theoretically actually get Death's Door here.
A slow
That's
dissection
18.
and unavoidable
So we actually
damage.
take the poison dart here. This forces Death's Door, which will weaken them, and it means their next action they are dead.
One less obstacle in our path.
Worth. Now, of course, we are taking quite a hit. And now we're going to try and move. That's the best option here. All right, now we're going to use our upgraded take aim. Upgraded take aim not only gives you 2 crit and a dodge, it also gives you speed, which means we are guaranteed to act first next round and can start attacking there. Unfortunately, they have a block token, but yeah, it's only 6 damage. So you're dead in 2 turns, guaranteed. And you are stealth, so we can't do anything to you anyways. So we're going to go ahead and heal you because, well, you have a higher bleed and you're about to act next. So we'll heal you first,
Relief comes rarely
even though
in
you're
these
lower.
times. Savor it.
Oh, we can't do anything there. So we're going to defend here. Make sure you do not get hit and die. Just going to have to use flashing daggers because we can't do anything else until you're unstealthed. Now we're hoping you don't re-stealth because you're dead. Again, we're going to try and move. 60% chance. Failed. And obviously we can't protect from that. Take our heal in. You're already... See, this is why hemophiliac is so bad. You're in real rough shape.
Malaise
I could have actually been a take aim, theoretically.
and steady.
I'm actually going to get rid of this bleed. We have enough damage to force Death's Door. I just want to avoid taking damage. And you have a 0% death blow resist, which means you never survive a death blow. So actually a pretty decent fight, even though it was our first. We got a shuffle, and that was our first cultist encounter.
An inkling of potency still lingers.
We're gonna
in some
get
of
another
these
Dark Impulse in.
well-worn relics.
I don't necessarily like this trinket. That means we crit an extra 1 in 20 times. And we lose healing permanently. It's not a great deal for me. Another cultist fight. This does give us a chance for wounding words. Although we don't know if we use it or not. Cultist fight, I don't like point blank shot. Cultist fight, we want to focus backline. Evangelists spawn in with block. So yeah. You want to learn how the mashes kind of operate and have flexible positioning based on that. For most fights, we want point blank shot, but for this one, no. Alright, I think it's still Grave Robber is still the best. It's even, I guess. You get vulnerable. Or no, that's self-vulnerable, I believe. Yeah. So we go here. Yeah, I believe that's self-vulnerable. It's not very clear. But I'm pretty sure with... Really? Ambush again. That's quite unfortunate. Alright, since we're point blank shotting here, what's your HP? We cannot heal yet. Since you're point blank shotting anyways, we're just going to do this. We're going to do some fat damage, I can tell you that much. Might actually be take aim point blank shot. I think that's actually superior. Now point blank is 12, so that'll be 18 guaranteed damage. So we definitely want to crush. Alright, so that is a guaranteed death door. That's a very unfortunate double. Then I think we target here since you're in rank 3. Makes it easier for Man-at-Arms to hit. We're just going to have to leave you alive. Very smart use of take aim there. Guarantee kill an Evangelist. This guarantees a kill. Next turn, though. That's very unfortunate to hit through the dodge. We're in deep trouble now. And first trumpeting again is very, very unfortunate as well. There is a very high likelihood well, I don't know if it's high likelihood since we have 2 kills already. But we could very likely die here. If we get tripled here, we're in deep trouble, I would say. I'm going to take aim again to get rid of this blind. I'm going to heal here because that's just too much dot to handle. You do have a self-heal. I guess we're just not going to move you. Very good dodge. Now our pistol shot is going to do 12 damage. So we just have to land a dot. And then this is a kill here.
Well done.
That is the benefit of take aim, is you get guaranteed numbers. That's a very good resist. We still have a heal, I believe. 1 heal.
Haste
We wanted to
and
daze there.
carelessness,
These blinds are very,
marks of the unprepared.
very wild blinds. Alright, I'm actually going to take aim. This means we're guaranteed to act first of the next round. And then we're going to start pushing you down. This should guarantee a kill. I'm going to go ahead and remove my stress. Yeah, this guarantees a kill. Didn't even actually need the take aim. Very good recovery there. Great use of take aim.
An inkling of potency still lingers in some of these well-worn relics.
I don't like losing HP. It's a thought, though. It's better than the reverse, I think. All right, we're now headed to a hospital. We do not have enough money to remove a quirk. Although we will, I guess, if we go here. Unfortunate fight here. Oh, we wanted to have point blank shot. All right, we're going to double hit here. The ghoul, ordained ghoul, is very challenging. I'm surprised they even have ordained ghoul. This could very likely be a death. I'm surprised they have ordained ghoul in this mash. That's actually very wild to me that they would have this in Act 1. One of the tougher enemies you face. We want to take out these enemies first so we can focus down here. I'm going to stress heal. This is actually the first time I've used bolster. So you don't necessarily need a stress heal. That's important. I do like having a stress heal available. I'm going to get my riposte up and my dodge up. We can't do anything there anyways, so we just... We probably should have got the corpse clear enabled. I just always like, you know, sometimes you just get in bad spots and you want the emergency stress heal. And you get so many upgrades in Act 1. Very good double dodge. We'll just keep dumping dots onto you. Unfortunately, we can't do anything to you. That has a higher... Oh, wait, they're the same crit rate, duh. The take aim also acts as a stress heal. We can get a free heal here with Crush. Very useful. I think we can take the heal here safely. We can greed the heal a little bit. And then use our wide damage range to push you to death's door. And you are dead. Alright, we recovered from that very scary fight. Very scary situation.
The past is gone.
It's one of the tougher runs you can... And ghouls normally give you a mastery. Now we have a bit of a breather. There can't be another fight until there. All right, do we want to remove a quirk? We could also get laudanum. Blundering is just not good. I actually don't like blundering, especially since we move. I don't know if it's worth a removal right now, but... Alright, there's our first academic cache. Academic caches give you 12 relics, 12 baubles, and food, 2 food, along with other rewards. So they're pretty useful early game.
Wheels askew, coach limping.
Like we said, we're very likely to face an urgent repair fight. That is a guaranteed safe road, but we have 2 more chances at getting rough patches. We know we can't face an armor repair fight.
An inkling of potency.
See, 12 relics, 12 baubles.
Well-worn
Griddle is not useful here, unfortunately. I'm not even going to take it. There's no one I want to actually use this trinket. I want someone to use this, though, I guess, since we have it. All right, we're going to the middle, obviously. That gives us a candle. We're going to gain 3 stress, unfortunately, because for some reason these... All right, very, very... This is very, very scary here. We face an automatic urgent repair fight, which I'm going to move you into front rank. Right into a mandatory cultist fight. Like I said, Stagecoach is very rough. But we didn't have any choice, so...
They seek to strike while we are vulnerable. Hold them off.
I actually like to take aim here. Well, I guess you don't have. It probably should have been. This is very scary. Alright, so let's explain urgent repair fights. I'm also going to use light bump. Urgent repair fights obviously happen when you lose both your armor and then you hit another of that corresponding patch. If you lose your wheels, well, first you always have one of your heroes must waste their turn fixing the stagecoach. If your wheels are gone, like ours have, you get a don't leave me debuff, which means they gain a stress every single round, which is wild. If you lose your armor, then you gain a vulnerable instead. So we're gonna focus target the woodsman first, because they don't have the permanent dodge token, block tokens, and they also guard. They can guard the ghoul. So even though they're less of a threat, I am going to keep our stress managed whenever possible. It might be too slow. This is one of the worst fights we could get. Two big guys.
Around your violence, and apply it judiciously.
But unfortunately, that doesn't do much for us right now. We're gonna get our riposte up. Skull toss is unfortunately just hugely damaging. You now are taking all your damage, so you will die next turn. It is interesting that that gets rid of both of those. That's actually a very interesting thing. We're gonna blind. Well, nothing matters. Let's force a kill. Unfortunately, you do not have the clear, so we just have to take aim. Yeah, we are in very rough shape. Oh wait, you still... God. That's just insane. Just insane amounts of stress. Yeah, we are likely headed to a meltdown at some point, especially since we're going up against cultists next. I really can't see us avoiding. Good resist. We're going to daze here. That'll give us a chance to force death's door with the daze. And we actually have a chance to kill this turn if we crit here. Otherwise, they'll be dead next turn. Wow. Very, very unlucky. Through the dodge plus. Sometimes you get unlucky. I don't like taking this. Oh, wait. We're urgent repairing, so we actually just take infinite stress. Alright, yeah. A very urgent repair fight's always bad. Getting a ghoul there, even worse. But you just have to endure.
We move once more.
Again, we're going to move back for this cultist fight.
Steadily.
Unfortunately, no watchtower. So we're going to lose one hero goal. Another cultist fight. Our stress is just so high. I don't even know how I want to handle this.
That was the wound. Fragmented and undone.
This is the obvious best choice. That's an okay ambush. Alright, I just want to point blank right now so I can hit the altar next turn. Alright, I have an interesting thought here. No, I'm gonna bolster. So we're gonna use that to blight you. It could have theoretically been a heal there. And now I'm really happy I didn't. It could have been a stun there and a knockback. But I'm happy I didn't do it, especially now that we're blind. We want to target, obviously, you. We're going to bolster up here first.
Compassion quiets the howling mind.
Just want to get our stress under control. All right, we target here. You're not dead yet, unfortunately. We want to kill here. This guarantees a kill, also 15% chance of an outright kill. And we're going to attempt... We're going to crush because that would push death's door. We're going to attempt there. We're blind, obviously, so it's only a chance. Alright, so you're guaranteed to go next, which means you can kill there. So we're going to start getting our blight here. That's a kill there, guaranteed. through the blind, unfortunately. Now we're in real bad shape. I'm gonna daze here. Try and force you to go last. Yeah, we are in very rough shape.
Well done.
That daze should help us. And our Plague Doctor is going last, unfortunately. I'm gonna clear corpses here. Now this one can't do anything damaging. We're going to try and kill here. Unfortunately, we can't. Just... Oh, wait, we do have a chance. Wow. So this is the affinity. Neither of them will allow a heal. You see the blue triangle indicates we will lose 2 affinity. And I do not want to lose 2 affinity. So I'm going to go ahead and just attack. We're going to risk this HP because I don't want to lose affinity. It's unfortunate both of them decided they didn't want. We'll see if we get unlucky again here. We're actually going to get a double heal here with this crush. That's okay. We should probably stall here and get one more heal. The cherub can only do brisk bedevilment, which does nothing. So we want to just take a free heal while we can. So we're nice and prepared.
Compassion quiets the howling mind.
We could further stall, but I'm not going to. Could further stall for more stress healing, but I'm not going to. We would lose light in that situation. Ooh,
An artifact of
that's incredible.
unparalleled power.
So we can pick one person to just go first,
The loathing of base.
essentially. You're probably the best option, I guess. Could theoretically go here. 8 speed. Alright, we're not going to the Hoarder. There's nothing of value there. This is also a safe road to the right.
Travel without proper reconnaissance. A hasty and reckless
Assistant encounter is good.
indeed.
We don't have any food except for this one. And we would also like some light going into the final encounter. The final encounter is a Deacon, which is a quite challenging fight. We'll explain how the Deacon fight works. Alright, we can get combat items, or we can get a wheel. The wheel doesn't matter. So we're going to grab a combat item. Turns out that doesn't matter either. Like I said, even though we lose the wheel, it doesn't matter. Alright, let's think about this. We definitely want Dismas in 3. Because...
Destiny will not be denied.
do we want any... No, I think we're just happy. We have to do this fight twice, basically. Once here and once in the mountain. So we'll kind of show what happens.
Mind your wheels. They have nothing left to give.
We'll explain it once we get in there. It'll be a little easier to explain. Alright, this is the Deacon. One of 2 mashes. It's a little unfortunate. So, this deacon, these tokens are worship tokens. Every move they do except for some of their moves. Like Rush Judgment doesn't give it, or it only gives a chance of worship. But their main skills will give them a worship. Once they have 2 worship, they use a free action to heal. Not only HP heal, but dot heal. The deacon or cardinal, they're deacons, cardinals, and exemplars. Deacon and cardinals show up at the end of the second inn and also in the mountain. And also at low light fights. They will heal once the deacon or cardinal or exemplar has 2 worship tokens. They will use exaltation, which is a big power move. Basically, you don't want them to do it. So generally, you kill the minions. You can also theoretically rush down the boss. Theoretically, we could do that here. We honestly might have enough damage, but I'm not going to do that. It's actually a consideration. Because of this flesh weaving causing a lot of problems. So we have 41 there. And then 2, and then round 3. So we'd get 2 procs from here. That would be 12 damage. 12 damage plus like 5. 12 damage plus 6. 18. 22. 24, 30. It's not really enough. Especially with that speed roll. And especially we lose. I mean, we lose if any of these people get. And Riposte might get it too. It might be okay to rush here. This is a very tricky scenario. That really helps. All right, down to 12 damage. So 5 plus like 6. We go there. Unfortunately, we're going to gain a lot of stress doing this. Then we use this attack. That's a Death's Door. And you do have 25% Death's Door resist. So I think I go ahead and we confirm this kill. So that was a very interesting example. Of where rushing actually makes sense because of how they all operate. All right, I think I do this. We could clear corpses, but this makes you do your weaker attack. We're bolstering here no matter what. And we need to start working on you.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Wow, you hit blind through. That's very, very ridiculous. I'm gonna keep on targeting you. Gonna wait for more damage to appear. Nothing to do but this. All right, this is very good. Now we have a 60% chance of stun and also a move chance. Very insane. No stun, unfortunately, but the move is good.
Lethality
And the crit guarantees a kill. And we go ahead and take the recovery. Especially with your healing, we're not going to kill anytime soon. Unfortunate hit through blind, but that's just how it is.
A little help impeccably timed.
And now we're down to 1. Man, that was a very, very good play. We wanted daze here. We wanted to daze to keep you from going. Alright, that was a very good Deacon fight. Sometimes you do rush. You just got to be able to calculate how much damage you have in your on your team. And we calculated that we likely had enough to kill before round 3 when the worships took effect. And we were unlikely to kill something like the Evangelist, especially after the flesh weaving. So sometimes you have to make... That's probably considered unorthodox by most players. I just want to see how much HP I would have. We would have 30 HP here. Instead, I have, you know, plus 3 speed and plus 15 damage instead of 50. I think this is just better. It's a little safer. Plus, you know, that's plus 12 HP. We get an extra 12 HP. We lose 35% damage and we gain 3 speed. I think that's superior. I'm going to get rid of the rest of these. Although we have speed here. It was a close call. And we did much less fights in this region, so we have much less money, which is especially concerning because we have no food. We do have stress heals, so it depends on what inn we get, how good we're gonna be here.
Lower your guard. Soften your
Shambler's
gaze.
Altar is average.
It is safe
Lazy Eye
here.
is unfortunate. Thin-Blooded is not great. All right, first let's look at our relations. We have 2 13s. That's more important than food. You don't need food at all. So it's only Barristan. I don't know if I want to risk using this.
Spend what you can, for wealth no longer has meaning. If indeed it ever did.
So we do this with Paracelsus. So we buy smokeweed for Paracelsus. And Barristan. We just want to guarantee no negative relationship. And Dismas will just use normal old. Because we don't want to lose speed there. I wonder if I need food. Well, nothing else really stands out to me. None of these items. So we buy 1 food. This will give you plus food. Or plus stun. And then probably Audrey. Dismas, I think, is my top. I gotta give you speed as well. We'll give Dismas this. I don't know if I want to gain a chance of stress. We'll just get lucky, I guess. Give you random.
Listen. Practice.
We fix up our cart.
Improve.
It does matter. We'll have a block token and we'll have healing.
If it is to carry you where you must go.
All right, we want point blank shot upgraded. Thrown dagger is an actual decent upgrade because of the crit chance. Absinthe is an upgrade. I guess we take wicked hack. Not a lot of skills we want. We'll go ahead and use these. That'll make sure we have top light in the last fight. So in the mountain, we're going to face the mountain.
There is nothing for it.
That's where we are now.
Press on. Come what may.
In Act 1, you will face one either Deacon or Cardinal fight before facing the boss. I believe it's... I don't know if it's always Deacon in Act 1. Cardinal's considered a bit more challenging.
The climb is treacherous, the air thin, but you will endure it.
Anyway, we want to be in this position so we can attack back row. That's our standard. And then we'll be point blank shot for the boss. That's obviously assuming we don't just die here. 3 relationships is very good. Remember, these cannot be negative relationships.
Tried and tested. A bond to be
Rampart
counted
gives dodge plus, which is insane. Poison darts gives dodge plus. This is just huge. It's very important to have positive relationships at the mountain. That's just a huge benefit.
unites the hopeful.
That will help us manage stress. Hopeful is stress management again. The main thing is, though, to avoid negatives. Get those locked in skills. Very, very challenging.
At last, the great ziggurat, temple of failure.
All right, we prepare for our Deacon or Cardinal fight. Basically, a replication of the fight we just did. In later acts, you have to do 2 of these fights. Now, this was a pretty good run. Any run, you get to the mountain, especially early game, has to be considered a win. Ooh, that gives speed, strength, and speed. And of course, the affinity does not matter now. Even if we went to like 0 affinity, it wouldn't matter at this point. So we don't consider that. This is another situation where we actually probably rush with that strength. The only problem is you're ordained now, and this altar might cause problems. Actually, because we can go to the altar and we can go poison darts into pistol shot. We actually go here. The only problem is if you flesh weave and gain a block token. And you did not, thankfully. So yeah, here because of the increased HP of Ordained and because of the lineup of the turn order, we choose not to rush down the Deacon. And we do not kill, which is kind of unfortunate. No stress resist, unfortunately. And this heals Barrison's stress, which is insane. Obviously, in this case, we have to rush this one down too. This one's dead in a couple turns. We want to knock you back, ideally. Unfortunately, you're just going to resist everything. And that is very, very bad. So you are going to get a worship off. There's no way to prevent it. And you're going to heal basically all of this. So yeah, we're in very rough shape currently. We're still in okay shape, I guess. I guess we'll go to 100. We don't want to actually push you back because we want a Noxious Blast. We will. It won't be a full heal.
The enemy weakens.
I don't think. I'm actually. She's gonna heal the dots, so we're gonna blind here. I don't know if Warship heals blind or not. Hit through blind is very unfortunate. We're gonna try and get a stun of our own. Very good, very effective. We're just gonna try and rush you now. Gotta get a heal in. So this fight was not quite as clean as the other one. Alright, with Commune, we're gonna try and push you back. And we get it that time. This is the highest chance of killing. Unfortunately, we missed the kill. Crush will kill. We just missed out on a bit of damage. And we obviously have to kill this round because of the Warship. Alright, so we will not end up in a bad position. That's a lot of hits through dodge. That's more stress than we want. But what are you going to do? No healing to be done. I still think we're in pretty good shape. We're going to full heal the HP.
Even the big ones.
But we are not protected from stuns, which is dangerous. And if we get hit, if we get range lock hit, which I'll explain in the lock fight once we get there. We also have no combat items, so I think we win the fight, but we probably have a death or two, would be my estimation. Although we could, if it snowballs, we could certainly lose this fight.
The Colliginous Cathedral.
But we're in as good shape as we could be, I think. Interesting lineup.
Pity the great denier, chained by its own command.
We do want to kill... Alright, so let's explain the lock fight. 4 individual locks. They all have 55 HP. They all have 4 speed. They do have differing dot resist profiles, you'll notice. They all have 2 shared skills, including a stun and an AoE attack. And then they each have 1 unique skill. And the biggest thing is at round start, 1 lock will lock 1 of your skills for the whole team. So in this case, the healing lock, we cannot use healing skills this round, which is obviously perfectly fine. This one is the ranged lock. It'll lock all our ranged skills. This is the melee lock, and this is the stress lock. Now this fight, just like all the other fights, is about action economy. You want to kill locks 1 at a time. And ideally you kill, obviously, the one that you have the most skills on, that you don't want locked. But you also have to go after the one most easily targeted. So in this case, we have to target here, because this is the easiest one to target. What else? Also, whenever one dies, it will give a buff to the remaining members of the team. This one gives a damage upgrade. This one gives crit upgrade. This will just flat heal. and this gives a chance of blind or, I believe, weak or vuln on the turn. But you still kill them one at a time. Otherwise, you get completely destroyed. See, there we get an opening paralyze. This fight is very challenging if you don't have stun resist.
Malaise, measured and
That already sets us way, way behind. That stun is unfortunate. I guess we only had like 40 stun resist. It is unfortunate that they just double. They're not guaranteed to stun if they use stun. That's how it works. But yeah, anyway, that's a very, very bad start. The two locks were very, very good starts. So we are in quite rough shape right now, I would say. We're already down 2 turns. But we're making good progress. Here at least. There it did not proc. Alright, you have 16, so we guarantee a kill here. You are dead on your next turn. Oh, that's scary. So since you're dead on your next turn, we want to start in on the ranged lock. Start pushing that blight. And we're getting very lucky with the locks. That they're not locking anything huge here. We're going to keep rushing here. Remember, the melee lock is dead on its turn. Just going to keep doing flat damage. Yeah, we're getting destroyed by stuns. That's a very... I believe you have the stun resist, right? Yeah, you had this... Very, very punishing run. I'm going to try and attempt to daze you. Then we can rush a kill. Very, very unlucky that we got the double. Especially since you gain stun resist. With each stun resist. So this fight's going quite badly, but I still think we're in good position. Just because we got that early kill. You are now dead on your next turn. So I'm going to attempt to daze you now. So you'll be slowed on your next turn. So this means they're going to alternate blocking healing and stress healing. Well, it's not guaranteed to alternate. We're going to go after this lock.
we can rely only upon each other.
And this is a stun, by the way. We haven't used it yet. Pistol shot into combo is a stun. Since this one heals, we're just going to go ahead and kill this one. They both have equal HP, basically.
I'll break through.
We get the stun. We confirm it. Slide in. Just keep dumping damage. See, even though we got a lot of stuns, the hard direct focus gave us what we needed. So how much is this? This is 6-4. I guess we heal? The heal is a little awkward. But we're about to be healing locked. See, that's very, very unlucky. A 75%. First, I think, is a 60% into a 70%. Into a 75% into a 60% or 40%. But like I said, we are hard focusing. Bottom roll there. And now we cannot lose against only one lock. You just have to really hard focus those locks. Even though we got punished very badly with stuns, just hitting those locks made a big difference. I think we heal back here because we have the Vuln. This is the last time we can heal because we're going to be permanent heal locked. This is something you have to pay attention to. You want to make sure you're never entirely locked out of a skill, because they will cast the lock every round. So that's why it's very important to keep a balanced team. I think we just take that since we have the strength token. We just take the direct damage. Anyway, like we said, 4 versus 1, we cannot lose here. The action economy was just too overwhelming. I'm going to daze here. Although we're probably smarter to just let you. It doesn't really matter what we do here. We've won either way. All right, that's Act 1. First try. You just got to play smart. It's all about enemy prioritization, getting action economy advantages. We were obviously very affinity focused. We spent basically all our resources in maxing out relationships, which we succeeded. We didn't take any super challenging fights. Nothing fancy necessary. We only unlocked 1 skill, which we only used a few times. Just the base party, very good. We did obviously get 1 cultist trinket, which did matter in the end because the Plague Doctor almost died. I didn't even count to see how many candles we got, but we'll start off next run with the whole candle thing. That'll be next Sunday. This is going to be a Sunday only educational thing, because a lot of you guys are like experienced. For whatever reason, my educational runs generally don't do as well, so I don't want to like do a full week of them. But I do want to have them, you know, available for all you guys that are new, especially Steam Summer Sale. What, still has a couple days, or is it over yet? I don't know. I'm recording this in advance, so I don't actually remember. Let me actually look. I guess this doesn't actually matter to you. I don't know why I'm... Yeah, through the 13th, Darkest Dungeon 2 is on sale. It's like, what, 20% off? It's like 30-something bucks. It's, you know, I've gotten 2,000 hours out of it, so it's not like it's a bad deal. And it's continuing to improve. Either way, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the more educational focused run as opposed to my meme runs. Like I said, it's very possible for you to win your first run if you pay attention, play smart, don't make mistakes, and have fun. Thank you all for watching, and good night.